So Homepoint does it this way, right? So it looks completely different. It's nothing like UWM, right? But what UWM does, so UWM doesn't allow you to choose what lock date you want because or Homepoint doesn't allow you to choose what lock date. UWM, we chose 22-day lock, so it priced it out just specifically for 22 days. But Homepoint allows you to do a 15-day, 30-day, 45, 60-day, and it just shows it to you in one chart, right? So, given that, they still have their skew of all their rates, right? So they have 225, 2375, 245, 249, 2.5, right? So for the sake of comparison, going back to UWM, right? So we still have this. Okay, kind of just compare the two together. So UWM's rate on a 2.5% or pricing will give back about $1,800 in lender credits for this scenario. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So what Homepoint sits at is at 2.5%, they can give back $2,862 in regards to the rate. Okay, so when we actually click on the rate, we can now see all their loan level price adjustments and their net pricing, and then pretty much how much credits you can give back to this borrower. So right off the rip, Homepoint is going to be better pricing than UWM all day, every day. Okay. The only issue is that you're not going to close. It's not guaranteed that you're going to close within 30 days like what UWM does, right? So Homepoint is more like a 30 to 45 day type of lender. But on the flip side, you get a better pricing, you get a better rate. But just in comparison, right? It's $1,800 for UWM's pricing at 2.5% on the same criteria, right? Homepoint, you're able to give back more credits, $2,800 back to the bar. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. But the net pricing is listed out differently, right? Because UWM showed a negative number of negative 0.813, okay? But then Homepoint shows a positive number in the hundreds of 101.273, okay? They're basically the same thing, and the fact that the only difference is this, that first two numbers, that 1 and 0, is basically you convert it to a negative with UWM. Okay, so the connotation, or at least the how you would convert this to UWM's, how you would write it out with UWM is with UWM, you would actually write this out as negative 1.273. Okay, and then vice versa at UWM, that negative 0.813, to write it out as Homepoint, you would write it out as 100.813. So what we did here is we removed this negative and we added in 10, right? And then with this, what we did was we replaced the 10 with a negative. And so they basically mean the same exact thing. There's no difference. It's just how it's actually written out. That's the only difference. Kind of like mortgage insurance. You know, conventional is MIP or PMI, and then FHA has MIP. It's the same thing. So only UWM, I think, is the only one who shows it in as a negative number or a positive number, only in the single digits. And then most other lenders will show it as a connotation of in the hundreds. So to kind of give you a little bit more practice, right? Let's just say a rate with UWM shows that it's 1.09, right? So basically that means that the borrower is going to be paying 1.09 in discount points, right? So there's a scale in this aspect. So as you guys can guess, when we go above 100, there's a credit. When we go below 100, it starts turning into a discount point. So to convert this into a hundreds type of annotation, right? We would now say, okay, 100 minus 1.09, and this would convert this to 98.91 if we were to see this as Homepoint pricing, okay? So they mean the same exact thing. So if we see Homepoint pricing as 98.91, that means the borrower is paying 1.09 in discount points. If we see 1.09 on UWM, the borrower is paying the 1.09, but if we convert it to the hundreds, then it's going to be listed as 98.91. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Okay, cool. So that's it in terms of that, and of course, we're going through Homepoint. You can see all their loan level price adjustments. So if it's a purchase loan, right, there's a cost of 0.125. If it's a state in Texas, they actually get an incentive. If the FICO score is between 740 and 759, it's a risk. And then because the LTV is between 85 and 90% and the FICO is above 740, then it's a benefit, right? So it overall becomes a net price adjustment of 101.273, which is equivalent to 1.273 in lender credit to a borrower. Okay. Questions?